Hello, hope you're doing well. We are back today with this story about Bank of Uganda trying to cap or to limit our cash withdrawals over the counter. Per week, they said that individuals, per day, they said individuals will be able to withdraw only 50 million, and per week, 250 million. Businesses will be able to only withdraw 500 million per day and 2.5 billion per week. As usual, this is the Weapons of War podcast, and I'm your host, Edin Tronde. Today, I want us to look at the cautionary tale of Vietnam. But before we go there, we have to notice that as Bank of Uganda has confirmed in various forums, that this is a move towards a fully digital economy where cash will be phased out. Over and over, they have stated that it's a drive towards a digital economy, so that we shift from currency to a fully digital economy where instead of, because they say that instead of issuing cash, it's becoming expensive. And it's now the last research I made, it was about 200 billion Uganda shillings to print and issue cash. So that among so many reasons, they're saying that they need to cut that cost. And therefore, they want to go fully digital. And they're saying that this is, of course, an issue to do with the supply and demand, that the people are already going digital anyway. A lot of transactions, both in volume and value, are being transacted digitally. So why not go fully digital? That's their reasoning. But again, like I've already said, this cashless agenda is not good. It's evil. It's a transfer from a currency system to a control system. And that's what I've been trying to show you. And I'm going to show you with this cautionary tale I'm going to show you today. That firstly, they want to get us onto these digital platforms, which are so many. You have the mobile monies, the fintechs, you have the Visas, the MasterCard. So the options are so many today. But over time, they want to squeeze us all into the central bank digital currencies. Central bank digital currencies, which will be issued by the central banks. There will be the ultimate control that all our accounts in Uganda will be managed by one entity. That's the Bank of Uganda here, but ultimately controlled by global bureaucrats like the IMF, like the World Bank, like the Bank of International Settlements, who do not even sit here. They are the ones who will be able to determine for us when to use our money. And like I've always said, our money will become potential money, because the use of your money will not depend so much on how much you have on your account. It will depend so much on how you adhere to the various agendas that are rolled out by the globalists. For example, if they say there is climate change here, therefore let us, cut down on industry or oil production, and you say, no, we need our oil production in order to develop, then they can cut you out of your account because you've disagreed with the narrative. If they say there's this pandemic, what everybody should get a jab, and they're like, no, that pandemic can be prevented by this herd immunity, ivermectin. It is, they'll say, oh, what did you say on social media? Then they cut you out of your account. Your account will be just a mere switch on and off, according to them, and you will be at their mercy. Without cash, where will be your way out? Of course, they are wrapping this up in various reasonings. It's going to help, spread financial services to various people. They say that mobile money payments have continued to grow, averaging 25% of transactions annually since the financial year 2020-2021. So they are saying this going digital is for inclusion. It is for penetration, extending financial services to the people. Now people on mobile money can access even loans, they can borrow, they can send and transact. So those are the reasons that they're giving us. But ultimately, this move towards capping at the cash that we can withdraw over the counter is a move towards the construction. It's another block towards the construction of this digital prison they are constructing for us, where they'll be able to control our money, how we use our money, what we can buy, where we can buy it, when we can buy it, what volumes we can buy, and in which areas we can buy. They can say that beyond this jurisdiction, you cannot buy. Beyond this 15-minute radius from where you stay, your bank account cannot work. They can program it to that extent. And this programming will be done by entities that sit way above Uganda. And that will be the ushering in of what they call the social credit system. The social credit system is a system where you are rewarded to use your money. To use your money is a reward according to how you behave. If you are against the globalist agendas, the access of your money is limited. They can stop it from accessing certain facilities. It could be data. They could say you can't fly out, you can't pay for certain services. Why? Because you're against a certain agenda X. So that's the social credit system. Of course, those who adhere to the system, they are rewarded. Now, is that the kind of system that you want? So right now, we may be debating cash withdrawal limits. No, but the ultimate is that control system that they are constructing for everyone. And it's global. Here they are telling us it's about, limiting the amount of spend that we have in terms of printing and distributing cash. Out there, they are telling them various reasons: money laundering, fighting terrorism, whatever it's facilitating trade, whatever it is. But I don't want you to just believe me. I want you to look at this cautionary tale of Vietnam. The Vietnamese woke up one day when 86 bank accounts had been closed. 86 million, sorry, not 86, 86 million bank accounts had been closed. By who? By the government. Why? Because the government passed a directive and some of them didn't feel it was right. The government passed a directive that they should submit their biometric, information for to back up their bank account. And some found that the biometric data that was being asked was intrusive. It was an infringement on their privacy. So everyone that did not adhere to that command or to that decree from above, their accounts were closed. 86 million. Now imagine if it's a cashless economy and there is this decree that has come from above and you have resisted it. Everyone should go and get a jab. If you refuse to get this jab because of this pandemic X, everyone, you are going to be locked out of your account and you don't have any cash on you. You don't have any alternatives. You don't have a mobile money here. You don't have a MasterCard. You don't have nothing. We all are on this central bank cryptocurrency. What will then be your other solution? You see, that's a digital prison. This is a control system that they are building, a control system where they'll be able to monitor and surveil and then punish anyone who does not adhere to their whims. That's why this world, this move towards limiting our cash withdrawals over the counter in the bank is going. So if you think that the 50 million cap is for other rich people, it's not for me. 50 million cap, I've never even earned 2 million. What, 250 million a week? Where will I get it? No, the ultimate that is coming is for you, is for everyone. That whoever does not adhere to the globalist agendas will be locked out of the financial system. I don't even want to call it a financial system because it's not a financial system actually. This is a control system where they monitor and control you. What did you say? Where did you go? We said everyone should be home by 7. When we looked at, when we noticed on the digital ID, which are also coming up, I've talked about those a lot. These digital IDs that they want to bring, they will be surveillance monitors, surveillance gadgets, where they are able to monitor you and tell where you are. And that digital ID will have all your information, all our information, plus the central bank digital currency account. It will also be on that digital ID. So as they monitor you wherever you are, and they find that you've broken the rule X, you were not at your home at 7 by 6 p.m. You exceeded, you went beyond the boundary. I told you you shouldn't go past. We told you shouldn't go past 15 minutes of your residence. We saw you going to Masaka from Kampala. Now we lock you out of your account. The digital ID is for monitoring. The central bank digital currency is for control. It's the one that will be used to punish those who step out of line. So this cashless agenda should be resisted with all our might, and we should not discuss it at the level that Bank of Uganda wants us to discuss it at. It's not about the digital penetration. It's not about the reliance of on our electricity and the power grid. It's not about what our neighbors are doing. It's a control system that is replacing a currency system. Okay, I'll pause here and let you have a look at this cautionary tale of Vietnam, how they woke up one day and 86 million bank accounts had been closed. If there are no cash, where would they have gone?
So here's the deal. Vietnam State Bank of Vietnam, or SBV, launched a massive cleanup operation. They cross-checked over 200 million bank accounts against the National Biometric Database. The result? Over 86 million accounts got banned or deleted. These are accounts that have not been biometrically verified by fingerprints or facial scans, or ones that lay dormant like forgotten dead gifts. The SBV says it's to fight fraud and boost digital payment security. On the surface, sure, who doesn't want less scams? But dig a little and you see it's tied to Project 06, Vietnam's big push for a national digital ID system. Every citizen is now chipped into the matrix. Your taxes, medical records, spending habits, all linked up. They say it's for faster transactions and less paperwork. I say it's a total loss of privacy and a setup for control that will make Uncle Sam jealous. I've seen this movie in other countries. The trailer says efficiency, the plot twist is control.
Like I've said, they always clutch at various reasons. Like those people in Vietnam, yeah, they're saying that they wanted to prevent common fraud schemes. They wanted to establish proper ownership of accounts. They wanted to combat money laundering, faster transactions, less paperwork. They have all these things that they talk about. But the ultimate of it all is that there's total loss of privacy. The money is programmable. They'll program your money. And programming your money is the same way that your ATM can be programmed today, that you can only withdraw 2 million whenever you withdraw, and perhaps 5 million per day off your ATM. Money can be programmed. All these machines can be programmed. But this will be programmed to a level that they can even program how much you give in your church. There are places of worship we've capped that they should not receive more than 10 million. Therefore, anyone who's giving to a place of worship, they can only give 10,000 per month. Now, if that is your sanctuary, that's your place of nourishment, yes, they'll tell you can only give 10K. They can tell you that, oh no, we are fighting climate change, therefore the use of fossil fuels should be reduced. Petrol and diesel should be reduced. Therefore, everyone driving a car should only buy 5 liters per week or per month. Therefore, if you want, unless you are an essential worker, essential workers, like the ones perhaps seated at BoU implementing these disastrous policies, those ones will be perhaps classified as essential workers, and they'll have access to more liters of fuel and freedom to move wherever they want. You saw that during COVID, where they are essential workers. The essential workers are the ones that help them implement these policies, because for them they're benefiting from them. So they use our locals to suppress the locals by elevating certain locals to a level of essential workers. We are going to a place where cash will be totally wiped out, and they want all of us on these digital platforms and ultimately on the central bank digital currency, which will be programmed. And our access to it will be dependent upon powers that sit beyond Uganda. They can switch you on and off, just flicking a switch, depending on how well you've behaved or how badly you've behaved. That's the system that the Bank of Uganda is leading us up to by the introduction of these cash withdrawal limits. Resist it with all that you have. That's it for today.